Good morning, America. How are you? Monday morning rail. Hi, I'm Denny Jelsma, and today is Monday, and I'm at the world famous Jacksonville Terminal Railroad Museum in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida, where the sun always shines. Today is cold. We're only going to get to 60 degrees. I got my jacket on, and it is cold. So you'll have to understand why I'm wearing my jacket. You got to give us sympathy when it's 60 degrees in Florida. Show and Tell is always brought to you by Jelsma Graphics, the people that make all the railroad embroidered clothing, shirts, jackets, just like my jacket here. Go to jelsma.com. That's Jelsma. Now, with all that being said, Show and Tell is going to start right now. This morning's Show and Tell is about the MILWAUKEE Columbia. The Columbia was a secondary train that ran from Chicago to Seattle, Tacoma, Washington. Every major railroad had a secondary train. And their main train and their most famous train of the MILWAUKEE was the Milwaukee Olympia Hiawatha. And it went through probably the most gorgeous scenery of all the trains that went to the Northwest. Remember, the Union Pacific had the city of Portland and with connections into Seattle. They had the Great Northern, the Empire Builder, and their secondary train was called the Western Star. And it went to the very north, and it kind of hugged the Canadian border. You had the Northern Pacific, which kind of went to the southern part of Montana, and it also had beautiful scenery. But the MILWAUKEE had the prettiest ride of all of those trains, and because it just went right through all the mountains that you could find. It just when they built this railroad, they just looked for mountains for some reason, and it was the prettiest scenery, and a lot of it was electrified, and so there was like 600 and some miles through the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, and then the Western Mountains into Washington, and just beautiful scenery. And it's what a shame, because that whole line has been torn up now, and it could really be beautiful scenery today. But anyhow, the secondary train was the Columbia. The Columbia was a workhorse that made this 2,000, almost 300 miles. It took 62 hours compared to the Olympia Hiawatha took 46 hours. When the Olympia Hiawatha got new cars, they would give the old cars to the Columbian. And so when modeling the Columbian, and for you rivet counters out there, you could be as accurate as whatever, because it showed up all the secondary equipment, and they put whatever. That you had heavyweights, you had lightweights, you had every kind of combination you could imagine to make up the secondary trains. And so it made twice as many stops, and it was really the workhorse. It always had an RPO. It had typically 5, 6, 7 baggage cars full of REA Express and baggage and you name it. And it was really designed to take care of the local passengers, a lot of the local passengers instead of all through Chicago, Seattle passengers. And so my engine is a Broadway engine. It's the 261. Just a gorgeous engine. I just love Broadway. And because they run, they make beautiful sound, and they're very reliable. So the Hiawatha, once again, you could get, they had 3 sets going in each way, so you just think about they had to have 6 sets to make this train work east and west. and in 62 hours, they threw every kind of baggage car you could imagine, and you saw all kinds of foreign roads. In my model that I have here, I just got a lot of hand-me-downs from the Hiawatha, and so it was heavy coach. They had some sleepers on that, but it was just the oldest sleepers you can imagine. They also used the Columbian to transfer extra cars needed from the east to the west car, and they usually had a nice observation sleeper on it, but it was just a workhorse of a train that took 62 hours, and so it was just a very nice train. When they started to cut it back in the 50s, they cut it off in 1955, and they started cutting it back slowly. And so they first cut off the western part, and they had to go to each state, to the Interstate Commerce Commission, to get permission to get cut off. And so they had to go to Washington, and then they had to go to Idaho, and they had to go to Montana. And the final train was from Chicago to Aberdeen, South Dakota. Aberdeen, South Dakota was a real rail hub of activity for the Milwaukee. It's a very interesting area. Aberdeen is out kind of in the middle of nowhere in South Dakota, and it was named after Aberdeen, Scotland. The president of the railroad didn't want to have a stop in South Dakota, but with all the political things, they made an agreement that they would make a stop on the railroad and make it a railroad hub if they named it after Aberdeen, Scotland, after his hometown. And the president of the Milwaukee was from Aberdeen, Scotland. So that's kind of a little interesting thing I threw in there, tidbits. And so one of the things that you people need to do, if you go on the internet, you can get all kinds of information, nice pictures. This here gives a lot of the history of the Columbian, and it's just a lot of information. And so if you just take time to really read it, and it's just amazing is how much passenger trains that we had in this country. It was just I read it and I get the feeling sad. And so one of the things I recommend, and you heard me say this, for an example, join the Milwaukee Historical Society if you like the Milwaukee. If you like the Union Pacific Railroad, join the Union Pacific. If you like the Wabash, join the Wabash. The Atlantic Coast Seaboard, join those historical societies. They have all kinds of information, and so they give information about little trains. If you have a question, you could call them up or send them an email, and somebody will give you too much information, actually. So join these historical societies. And so these secondary trains, like what I have is of the Columbian, is just a great memory of the railroading in the 1950s, 60s, 40s. Just really interesting to me to model these and put these together. And so one of the things that we want you to do is come and see us at a train show coming up. In January, I think the 10th or the 11th or something. What is the date in DeLand? I think it's the second weekend in January in DeLand, Florida. Come and see number 2, and I will be at the train show at the Volusia County Fair. And then make sure that you go to the largest train show in the United States, and that is in West Springfield, Massachusetts, the Big E, the Amherst Train Show. It is January the, I think, 25th and 26th. And Amherst Railroad Society puts it on in West Springfield. It's the New England States Fairgrounds. 4 huge buildings, the biggest train show in America. There'll be 30,000 people there. And then you come by, you say, hey, we watch your videos, or we see on Ken Patterson What's Neat, and I'll give you a free Ken Patterson hat if you come up to us and say, hey, you got a hat for the Ken Patterson show, or I watch your videos.
Now,
so,
where can they find us at this show? Which building?
I'm glad you said that, because there's 4 big buildings. We're right in the middle building, kind of, and it is the Strobe building. You can't miss it. When you leave one building, you walk, and boy, you walk right by the Strobe building. Come on in. We're right by the door. We've been there for, I think this may be our 30th year. I don't know. But you'll get to see number 2. He'll have his glossies. He loves to sign these 8x10 glossies, and he'll be glad to sign those. But it's the Big E, biggest show. You cannot see everything at this show in 2 days. You just can't. So you're going to have to come next year also. So make sure you come and see us at the Amherst. And we always have a lot of good specials. And you'll get to see jackets like this. We'll have them hanging up. We'll probably have a couple hundred jackets. So anyhow, that's the way it is at the world famous Jacksonville Terminal Railroad in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida, where today we're suffering. It's only going to get up to 60 degrees. I don't know. I really can't handle it. And that's why I got my jacket on. And so it is cold in North Florida. So, and that's the way it is.